chapter 8, verse 11. But rather to redeem my future and restore our relationship. John Eldredge says that in the heart of every man is the question, do I have what it takes? And I would say my dad was a pretty quiet guy. So I'm not sure, even if he said it, that I had what it takes, that I actually heard it. But I often ask that question, and I often, when I was younger, would ask that question, do I have what it takes? And I share with the guys that come to my porch and patio, men often take that question horizontally. We take it to our jobs. We take it to the woman. We take it to sports. We take it to everything possible, and we try to get that answer horizontally. And what I've learned over time is God says, no, I want you to bring that to me. Bring that question, do I have what it takes, to him. And then as he pours that into me, then I can take my strength and offer that to those that are around me, as opposed to being what I would call a strength sucker. And so Morgan has he's been talking about the new name. And when reading about the new name, when I was reading the book, someone gave me the book back like in 2008. And it took me forever to read that book. I'd read like a chapter and I go, Then I read a little bit more and I go, okay, that's good. And but I got to the new name part and I was just like, I don't get this. New name, I've not heard God say, oh, I'm giving you this new name. And it really was the hardest part. So we went to boot camp, or I went to, you sign up for a lottery to get into the boot camp. And Tom, you would know that, you never got in. But I got in the first time. And it was in Colorado. It was in August of 2008. And I thought it was going to be me and John and a few other guys riding horseback together. And as you see on the screen, it's me and John and 450 other guys. And I didn't know a soul. And so, as you know, or I love the mountains. I was blown away by the mountains. Matter of fact, I want to share a picture. Scott, go ahead and show that first picture. This is a picture of my tribe. You might have seen them having dinner with me tonight. But that's in Colorado. Beautiful mountains near, I think it's near Twin Lakes. So I'm in Colorado. Beautiful mountains are right over here the first night. And the next morning we get up and go to breakfast and it's raining. It's misting. And I'm like, God, where did the mountains go? And he's like, they're still there. They haven't gone anywhere. Just like my strength and my love for you and the guys here at the camp. I was like, whoa. Not used to God speaking to me like that. And so then I felt him say, and the rain and the mist is my tears for the heart of the men at this camp. There's a lot of battles going on. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of struggles, just like there are here. Right? Guys are sharing stuff in the prayer box. There's some tough stuff going on, and we're praying for you guys as well. And so I was struggling with that, and we got to this session, session 5, and Kurt McConnell was one of the guys on the team, and he shared a session, and he said, now I want you to go out and vow of silence, and I want you to ask God, what does he think of you? And I was like, okay. And it's vow of silence, all of a sudden I hear guys going, ooh, oh, whoa, and I'm like, hey guys, we gotta be quiet, legalist in me. And so we get outside. Now this is August, and we walk outside, and the rain had stopped. And over here were the first snow of the year, snow-covered mountains, and a full moon shining down on the mountains. And I looked at the question and he says, what does God think of you? And I felt like God said, I love you, stupid. Don't you get it? Look what I just did. There's full moon. I know you love the mountains. There's snow-covered mountains. And he says, I love you, and I wash your sins as white as snow. It hadn't snowed all year. We're in August, and there's snow. And it was such a gift from him. And and I know some of you guys are waiting to hear your new name, and that's great. And yet some of you are just waiting to hear God say, I love you and I forgive you. And that may be all you guys need to hear tonight. That was 15 years ago. And the more I've dug into it, the more I've realized that he has been pursuing my heart. And he wanted me to know that I was forgiven and loved by him. And it's been hard to kind of grab onto that. I think we want to be the victim. We want to say that, oh, God can never forgive me. But God's been, that was, like I said, that was 15 years ago. God's been working on a little bit of a new name for me recently. I need to tell you a little bit about a new season that I'm in. When we went back out to Colorado in June, I was having some bruising, and I had a couple blisters on my tongue. And my wife said, "Hey, you need to get that checked out. You need to send a picture of that to the doctor." So we did that, and through a roller coaster of events, they basically have diagnosed me with myelodysplastic overlap syndrome, which could lead to acute leukemia. Crazy thing about it is I feel perfect. I don't feel bad, but I have low platelets. When they give me platelets, I don't feel any better. I don't feel any worse when I don't have them, but apparently I could bleed to death. And so Monday, after we get done with the boot camp, I go in for 5 days of chemo. And then we'll go 3 weeks off, and then I go back in, possibly leading to a bone marrow transplant, which is not something fun and easy to do. My little brother was in town. Actually, I have 3 siblings, and 2 of them are full matches, and 1 is a half match. And my brother was in town, and we were driving along, and I saw something that caught my eye so much that I had to take my granddaughter back and get a picture. And thank you, Noel, for the great photography. But let me explain part of this. I have a friend that his name is Dave, but now he goes by David. And when you ask him why he goes by David, he says Dave was a jerk. He was a bum. And he goes, when I asked for forgiveness from my family and changed my life, I became David. Now, Grandma's the only one that's ever called me Victor. I'm Vic, but she calls me Victor. And that was always like, I'm in trouble. But God's been kind of working on me. I'm never going to change my name to Victor, but God's has me in a season right now that he keeps reminding me of this phrase. And Scott, show the next picture. The Lord keeps telling me that there we go. That you are the victor. That in this season of myelodysplastic overlap syndrome, you are the victor. And no matter what happens, you are the victor. And Scott, show the last picture. With these, Noelle is a photographer, she's in the middle. With these cute photographers, how can I not be the victor? God keeps reminding me through the blessing of my family that whatever happens, I'm victorious. And guys, he loves you, he forgives you, and he gives you a new name, and he forgives. And I just want to challenge you as well to know that God is walking with you. Thank you for listening, guys. God bless you.